You know, I've been studying success and personal development for decades now, and I can tell you without any hesitation that the most powerful force in achieving anything worthwhile in life isn't talent, isn't luck, and it certainly isn't wishful thinking. It's consistency. It's that simple daily discipline of doing what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. And let me tell you something that might sting a little bit, but it's the truth. Most people fail not because they don't know what to do, but because they won't do it consistently. Think about it. How many times have you started something with tremendous enthusiasm? Maybe it was a new diet, a new exercise program, a new business venture, or a new commitment to read more books. The first day, you're on fire. The first week, you're telling everyone about your new journey. But then something happens. Life gets in the way. You get busy. You get tired. You convince yourself that missing one day won't hurt. And that one day becomes 2 days, then a week, then a month, and before you know it, you're right back where you started, wondering why you can't seem to make any progress. Here's what I've learned. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day, and failure. Failure is simply a few errors in judgment repeated every day. It's that accumulation of the little things that makes the big difference. You don't fail in a day. You don't succeed in a day either. You fail or succeed in the small moments, in the daily choices, in the consistent actions that either move you forward or hold you back. Let me share something with you. The difference between where you are now and where you want to be isn't some gigantic leap you need to make. It's not some massive transformation that requires superhuman effort. It's the small, seemingly insignificant actions that you take consistently over time. It's reading 10 pages of a good book every day. It's making those extra phone calls every afternoon. It's going to the gym even when you don't feel like it. It's saving a little bit of money from every paycheck. It's practicing your craft when no one's watching. You see, most people are looking for the big break, the shortcut, the secret formula. They want to know the trick, the hack, the one thing that's going to change everything overnight. But I'm here to tell you that there is no such thing. The real secret, if you want to call it that, is so simple that most people dismiss it. The secret is to do the right things consistently, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, until those small actions compound into extraordinary results. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, but it's hard to be consistent. Life gets in the way. I get distracted. I lose motivation. And you're absolutely right. It is hard. If it were easy, everyone would do it and everyone would be successful. But the fact that it's hard is exactly why it's so valuable. The difficulty is what separates those who achieve great things from those who simply dream about them. Let me tell you about a concept that changed my life. I call it the philosophy of slight edge. Every decision you make, every action you take, is either moving you slightly forward or slightly backward. There's no standing still. You're either building or you're deteriorating. You're either growing or you're dying. And the beauty of this philosophy is that you get to choose with every single decision which direction you're moving. When you choose to read that book, instead of watching mindless television, you're moving forward. When you choose to have that difficult conversation, instead of avoiding it, you're moving forward. When you choose to invest in yourself instead of spending frivolously, you're moving forward. And here's the thing, each one of these decisions in isolation seems insignificant. Missing one workout won't make you out of shape. Skipping one day of reading won't make you ignorant. But it's not about one day. It's about the pattern you're establishing. It's about who you're becoming through these daily choices. Consistency is the ultimate form of self-respect. When you commit to doing something and then you follow through, regardless of how you feel, you're sending a powerful message to yourself. You're saying, my word matters. My commitments matter. I matter. And every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build trust with yourself. You strengthen your self-discipline muscle. You become the kind of person who does what they say they're going to do. But let me be clear about something. Forcing yourself to be consistent doesn't mean being perfect. It doesn't mean never missing a day or never making a mistake. That's not what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about is developing the discipline to show up even when it's inconvenient, even when you don't feel like it, even when no one else would know if you skipped it. I'm talking about integrity, character, and the understanding that your success is built in private in those moments when no one's watching. You know what's interesting? The same actions that seem so trivial when you first start doing them are the exact same actions that create massive results when you do them consistently over time. Taking a daily walk might seem pointless at first. What difference is 30 minutes going to make? But do it for a year, and you've transformed your health. Saving $50 from each paycheck might seem futile when you're trying to build wealth. But do it consistently for 20 years, and you've got a fortune. Writing 500 words a day might feel like you're not making progress on that book. But do it for a year, and you've got a manuscript. The problem is that we live in an instant gratification society. We want the results now. We want to see the progress immediately. We plant the seed today and expect to harvest the fruit tomorrow. But that's not how life works. That's not how success works. Everything in nature teaches us about the power of consistency and patience. The mighty oak tree started as a tiny acorn. The Grand Canyon was formed by water flowing consistently over millions of years. Your body didn't get out of shape overnight, and it won't get back in shape overnight either. Here's a powerful truth: your life right now is a result of your past consistency or inconsistency. If you're not happy with where you are, look at what you've been doing consistently. If you're broke, you've been consistently spending more than you earn or consistently failing to increase your value in the marketplace. If you're out of shape, you've been consistently eating poorly or consistently avoiding exercise. If your relationships are struggling, you've been consistently neglecting them or consistently avoiding difficult conversations. Your current reality is a mirror of your past patterns. But here's the exciting part: your future is going to be determined by what you start doing consistently today. You have the power to change your trajectory starting right now, not tomorrow, not next Monday, not on January 1st. Right now, this very moment. You can decide to become a person of consistency, a person of discipline, a person who follows through on their commitments. Now, let me give you some practical wisdom on how to actually force yourself to be consistent, because knowing you should be consistent and actually being consistent are two very different things. First, you've got to start small. Don't try to change everything at once. Don't commit to waking up at 5 in the morning, working out for 2 hours, reading for an hour, meditating for 30 minutes, and building a business for 4 hours a day if you've never done any of those things before. You'll last about 3 days before you burn out and quit everything. Instead, choose one thing, just one, and make it so small that it's almost impossible to fail. Want to start reading more? Commit to reading just 1 page a day. Want to start exercising? Commit to just 10 push-ups a day. Want to start building a business? Commit to just 1 productive action per day. The key is to make it so easy that you have no excuse not to do it. And here's what happens once you start. You'll usually do more than your minimum commitment. But even if you don't, you're building the habit. and that's what matters most. Second, tie your new consistent action to something you already do consistently. This is called habit stacking, and it's incredibly powerful. If you already drink coffee every morning, commit to reading one page while you drink your coffee. If you already brush your teeth every night, commit to doing 10 push-ups right after. By anchoring your new habit to an existing one, you're making it much more likely to stick. Third, track your consistency. Get a calendar and put a big X on every day you complete your commitment. Don't break the chain. There's something incredibly motivating about seeing that string of X growing longer and longer. You won't want to break your streak. And if you do break it, don't beat yourself up. Just start a new streak the very next day. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is progress. Fourth, understand that motivation follows action, not the other way around. This is huge. So many people wait to feel motivated before they take action. They say, I'll go to the gym when I feel motivated. I'll start my business when I feel inspired. I'll make those calls when I feel energized. But that's backwards. You don't need to feel like doing something to do it. You just need to do it, and then the feeling will follow. Think about it. How many times have you dragged yourself to the gym, not wanting to be there, only to feel amazing afterward? How many times have you forced yourself to start working on a project, feeling resistant at first, only to get into a flow state once you got going? Action creates motivation. Momentum creates more momentum. You've got to be willing to start when you don't feel like it, trusting that the feeling will come. Fifth, create consequences for inconsistency. Tell people about your commitment. Put money on the line. Make a bet with a friend. Give someone you trust the power to call you out when you're slacking. When there's something at stake, you're much more likely to follow through. The pain of letting others down or losing money is often stronger than the pain of doing the work. Now, let me talk about something that's going to happen when you commit to consistency resistance. Oh, you're going to face resistance. Your mind is going to give you every excuse in the book. You're too tired today. You can start fresh on Monday. One day won't make a difference. You've been so good, you deserve a break. Your mind is incredibly creative when it comes to talking you out of doing what you committed to do. But here's what you need to understand: that resistance, that voice trying to talk you out of it, that's not you. That's just your brain's primitive survival mechanism trying to conserve energy and keep you comfortable. Your brain doesn't care about your goals. It cares about keeping you safe and comfortable. And growth, change, and consistency require you to be uncomfortable. They require you to override that primitive part of your brain and act according to your higher values and long-term goals. So when that voice shows up, and it will, you need to acknowledge it and then do the thing anyway. Don't argue with it. Don't try to rationalize with it. Just notice it's there and then take action. Say to yourself, I see you, resistance. I hear you, and I'm doing it anyway. Because here's the truth: that voice never goes away completely. Even the most disciplined people on earth still hear it. The difference is they've learned not to let it control their actions. Let me share something else with you. The pain of discipline weighs ounces, but the pain of regret weighs tons. Every time you choose short-term comfort over long-term gain, you're trading your future for your present. You're mortgaging tomorrow for today. And one day, you're going to wake up and realize that all those days you gave up, all those times you chose the easy path, all those moments you broke your commitment to yourself have added up to a life you didn't want. On the other hand, every time you choose discipline over comfort, every time you honor your commitment to yourself, every time you do what you said you do even when you don't feel like it. You're investing in your future. You're building the life you actually want. You're becoming the person you're meant to be. And let me tell you, there's no greater satisfaction than looking back and seeing the compound effect of your consistent actions. I want you to think about the 5 major pieces of life: your health, your relationships, your finances, your career, and your personal development. Now, ask yourself honestly, in which of these areas have you been consistent, and in which have you been inconsistent? I guarantee you, the areas where you've been consistent are the areas where you're seeing results. And the areas where you've been inconsistent are the areas where you're struggling. You can't expect to have a healthy body if you're inconsistent with your eating and exercise. You can't expect to have strong relationships if you're inconsistent in your communication and presence. You can't expect to build wealth if you're inconsistent in your earning, saving, and investing. You can't expect to advance in your career if you're inconsistent in your effort and learning. You can't expect to grow as a person if you're inconsistent in your self-reflection and education. Consistency is the price of excellence. It's the price of success. It's the price of a life well lived. And here's the beautiful thing: it's a price anyone can pay. It doesn't require talent. It doesn't require connections. It doesn't require privilege. It just requires a decision and then the discipline to honor that decision day after day after day. Now, I want to talk about something that might be holding you back from being consistent: perfectionism. Some people think that if they can't do something perfectly, or if they can't give it their full effort on a particular day, they shouldn't do it at all. That's nonsense. That's just another form of resistance, trying to keep you from taking action. Don't is better than perfect. Consistent beats perfect every single time. It's better to do a mediocre workout than no workout. It's better to write a bad page than no page. It's better to make a weak sales call than no sales call. Because you know what? That mediocre workout still builds the habit. That bad page can be edited. That weak sales call still provides practice. But doing nothing, that builds nothing. That moves you nowhere. Some days you're going to bring your A game. Some days you're going to bring your C game. And that's okay. Just show up. Just do something. Just keep the streak alive. Because the power isn't in any single day's effort. The power is in the pattern. The power is in becoming the kind of person who shows up regardless of circumstances. Let me tell you about time. Time is going to pass anyway. A year from now, you're going to be a year older, whether you're consistent or not. The only question is, what are you going to have to show for that year? Are you going to be in the same place, frustrated, making the same complaints, having the same problems, or are you going to be transformed by the compound effect of your daily disciplines? 5 years from now, you're going to arrive. The question is where? You can arrive with regret, or you can arrive with results. You can arrive with excuses, or you can arrive with achievements. You can arrive with dreams, or you can arrive with accomplishments. The choice is yours, and it's made today, in this moment, in the decision to be consistent. Here's something powerful to consider. Your consistency doesn't just affect you. It affects everyone around you. When your children watch you keep your commitments, you're teaching them discipline. When your colleagues see you show up day after day, you're raising the standard. When your friends observe your transformation, you're inspiring possibility. You're not just changing your life through consistency. You're changing the lives of everyone who witnesses your commitment. And here's another thing: the universe or God or whatever you believe in rewards consistency. When you show up consistently, opportunities start to show up consistently. When you put in consistent effort, you start to see consistent results. When you consistently add value, value consistently comes back to you. It's not magic. It's not luck. It's the natural law of sowing and reaping. You reap what you sow, but you also reap after you sow, and you reap more than you sow. But you must sow, and you must sow consistently. I want to address something else, what to do when life actually does get in the way, because it will. You'll get sick. You'll have emergencies. You'll face unexpected challenges. Does that mean your consistency has to break? Not necessarily. It means you adapt. Maybe you can't do your full workout, but you can do 10 minutes. Maybe you can't write your usual amount, but you can write one sentence. Maybe you can't make all your calls, but you can make one. The key is to do something, anything, to keep the habit alive. Remember, we're not trying to be robots here. We're trying to be disciplined humans. And discipline is about making the best choice available in any given moment. Sometimes the best choice is to push through. Sometimes the best choice is to modify your commitment. But it's rarely the best choice to abandon your commitment altogether. Now, let me share something that might surprise you. Being consistent actually makes life easier, not harder. I know it doesn't seem that way at first. At first, consistency requires effort. It requires willpower. It requires discipline. But over time, something magical happens. Your consistent actions become habits. And habits don't require willpower. They become automatic. They become part of who you are. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't need willpower to brush your teeth. You don't need motivation. You just do it because it's what you do. That's what happens with any action you do consistently enough. It becomes part of your identity. You stop being someone who's trying to work out consistently and become someone who works out. You stop being someone who's trying to read more and become a reader. You stop being someone who's trying to be disciplined and become a disciplined person. And here's the ultimate truth: your consistency, or lack thereof, defines who you are. Not your intentions, not your dreams, not your potential. Your consistent actions. You are what you repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act but a habit. Character is not something you're born with. It's something you build through consistent choices that align with your values. So I'm challenging you today. I'm challenging you to stop making excuses. Stop waiting for the perfect time. Stop looking for the easy path. Stop hoping for shortcuts. And start forcing yourself to be consistent. Start showing up. Start doing the work. Start keeping your commitments to yourself. Start building the habits that will build your future. Choose one area of your life where you know consistency would make a massive difference. Just one. And commit to one small action every single day for the next 90 days. That's it. 90 days of consistency, not perfection. Consistency. And I promise you, if you do this, 90 days from now, you won't recognize yourself. You'll have momentum. You'll have confidence. You'll have results. And most importantly, you'll have proven to yourself that you're capable of far more than you ever imagined. Because here's the final truth I want to leave you with: forcing yourself to be consistent isn't about forcing at all. At first, yes, there's force involved. There's effort. There's discipline. But over time, as you build the habit, as you see the results, as you become the person who shows up, it stops being force and starts being choice. It stops being hard and starts being natural. It stops being something you have to do and starts being something you get to do. Your life is waiting for you. Your dreams are waiting for you. Your potential is waiting for you. But none of it will come to you. You have to go to it. And the way you go to it is through consistent, disciplined action day after day after day. That's the way. That's the only way. And you're capable of it. Not because I say so, but because it's a simple truth. Anyone who decides to be consistent and follows through on that decision will absolutely, positively, without question, transform their life. The question isn't whether consistency works. It does. The question is, will you work? Will you show up? Will you force yourself to do what needs to be done day after day until it becomes who you are? That's the only question that matters, and only you can answer it. But I believe you can. I believe you will. Now go prove me right.